If the cow jumped over the moon, why couldn't they jump the fence? Yup, we here. You know what it is. I love a good chef shout out in video games. Maybe it's me and my own personal experience being a chef, but it's always a vibe. And for the most part, they always have a cool quirk. And Hoopa being one of my favorite mythical Pokemon. Amazing. Shout out to Ansha. Shout out to Mama Love. We're just gonna run through these berries. So I've gotten through the main story, obviously, and the side story. We're just tackling side quests in the midst of finishing a shiny team, because I got the shiny charm within doing the main story. I did the 1,000 battles, took that on the chin. Biggest champ. And it's been fun. But for some reason, they keep giving me Gen 1 shinies. Like my first shiny through my first playthrough, which this is my first playthrough. I can show y'all the almost 200 hours. It was Magikarp, right? Right in the location, I believe next to Gudra. That's where I got shiny Magikarp. So naturally, Red Gyarados, lit. And for season 1, it was cool because Gyarados was top tier for climbing the ladder. But Gen 1. And ironically enough, I was on game chat the other day with my boy Dino, and he goes hard for Gen 1. Like Pokemon Go, the Let's Go games, Fire Red, Leaf Green. We're going back and forth, and he's defending them with all his might. And I can understand and I can respect. Gen 1 is the OG. We wouldn't have gotten here. Yeah. And mind you, I've been growing up with Pokemon. I jumped in Gen 2. One of my favorite things about Gold and Silver is the fact you can go back to Kanto and fight Red at the end of it. Epic boss fight. Crazy. Who do I want? I don't think we picked up any sparkling power anyway. We in for the dragons. Hopefully he drops me on the right side. I probably could have just went to Quasar to go. Oh, we right here. So, and I'm like, yeah, I understand that, but I'm only coming from the stance of I'm tired of going back. It's annoying, like, and it's fine to go back to Kanto, but the same way, and this is why I find the Legends game so refreshing, and Kanto, that would be the perfect Legends, like, anniversary edition, is Legends Kanto, you know? Like, cause I'm not tired of the Pokemon, cause we have 1,000 now, so 151 do get shuffled in the mix. You don't have to use them if you don't want to. We'll save the 5s. Oh, a 4's giving me 13. I'll take that. Just cause. But the Pokemon are cool. The story, the original story is nice, but I'm tired of doing it. It's the same rerun. And even the Let's Go games, they changed the catching mechanic to match up with the phone app, which is cool. Especially if it's your first time playing Pokemon in general, I can understand how that is appealing to you. And there's always going to be a new wave, a new generation of people to get into Pokemon for the first time. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be completing these missions. The undetected ones are always my worst, because stealth mode isn't my jam. But Pokemon has slowly and surely got me accustomed to, especially Legend of Arceus. You had to get nice with stuff. Yeah, do that, do that. And handle the light work. Oop, missed it. Alright, so a shiny Noibat would be cool. But yeah, the Kanto games, I just want a different story. And the crazy part is I'm a huge fan of the Pokemon Adventures manga. I think the manga series took it over the moon. And they really implemented a darker tone. And they remixed the formula on the basic Kanto story and something that was... Does it count for these zoomers? Or do they notice me? Oh, they're just uncatchable. Okay. Oh, that makes it easy. See? Tricks of the trade. But the manga series was dope. So if we do have to go back to Kanto, which we inevitably will, some way, somehow, they're gonna find a reason to bring us back to Kanto, which is fine. I just don't want to do the same exact story from Red and Blue. Like, even Yellow, I replay that sometimes because it's refreshing, even playing Ash's story. And albeit Ash has always been one of my least favorite anime characters of all time, despite Pokemon being one of my favorite games and favorite series of all time. As a trainer, Ash Ketchum, I'm good. I was more ecstatic than I should have been when they finally retired him in the anime. And shout out to Liko, Roy, and Dot. Especially Dot, big homie. I was really ecstatic. So even in that, Ash's story in the Kanto region itself, him removed from it as a person, because you'll be playing the game, it's an RPG. It's dope. Oh, I didn't even know this was here. Where's my golden Pokeball? What's going on? Oh, there we are. So even that, fire, dope. Being able to play that, because think about it. And when I was talking with Dino, he even brought it up. What happened to Officer Jenny? She was a huge component in the anime. And even the police officer trainer class in the Johto games, my favorite region. Like when it was nighttime, they even fed into the day and night cycle. And I think that's a cool thing they expounded on or played around with in these games, is that the day and night cycle, the police officers used to be all helpful, nice during the day. If they saw you at night, it was on sight. What you doing outside? Battle. And you always know they were coming with a Growlithe and patrolling with the flashlight. So, and I actually just finished watching a video, more so on the TCG, but I forgot where. They were saying that Arcanine was originally supposed to be a legendary Pokemon, and that out of all the Gen 1 Pokemon, Game Freak needs to stop giving Charizard so much love, show some love to Arcanine. And I love Hisuian and Growlithe. I love Hisuian and Arcanine. So, yeah, man. I'm just tired of doing the same thing over and over again. But the Legends games are super refreshing. I've been enjoying my time. No shiny. The story's dope. I, in comparison to Legends Arceus, I'd say ZA's story's more flushed out. Arceus was, I mean, inverse. Arceus was more fleshed out because they already had all of the Sinnoh games to stand on. The lore was there pre-built, and the Sinnoh lore is already pretty deep for what it is. So it was a lot. It fleshed out a lot, and it was cool. But this was more detailed and more, how do you say, like, exciting, and a lot more dynamic. And I believe it was because the gaps, in comparison, even the base games, like the original reference points, Gen 4 for Diamond and Pearl Arceus, and Gen 6 for XY ZA. The gaps they had to fill in Legend ZA was a lot more inconsistent, you know? It was a lot more work to fill in the gaps because X and Y, in my personal opinion, left a lot to be desired. So it was a lot more they had to compensate and work towards when approaching ZA and filling in the gaps that X and Y left. Gen 4, Diamond and Pearl, in comparison, it was a lot more tight-knit, ready to go. Yeah, I don't think I'm finding the shiny, but it was a lot more tight-knit, ready to go as far as lore and story-wise, but it was empty content-wise until you got to Platinum with the Battle Frontier and berries like Pops and his side quests. That's where the game fleshed it out. Arceus really established the baseline, I want to say, for the Pokemon universe as a reference point historically, because it gave me, all right, this might date me a little bit, but it brought me back to watching Pokemon Forever. Was it Forever? Yeah, Pokemon Forever with Celebi, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Pokemon Forever or the third. But the movie with Celebi and the fake young reference to Young Oak and the Pokeballs being steam based, him and his Charmeleon, it was dope. And even like, it made me think that Evil Trainer's Tyranitar as a kid, I used to think it was like Dark Tyranitar from the TCG, but now it's like, oh, he probably had like an alpha Tyranitar that was just mean because he was a dark trainer, you know? Because it was huge. Or maybe that was just like little kid in me and nostalgia going crazy. But that Tyranitar was large. So that plus crafting the steam-based Pokeballs, it was dope. And that kind of filled in the gaps there, you know? But not everybody's going back to stream and watch Pokemon Forever or even Pokemon 2000, you know? Which is his own thing in itself. So, but even as its own game at the start, it was cool. I messed with it. ZA, and that's the thing too. Each of the games, like Arceus, if you prefer the whole monster taming and catching aspect of Pokemon, that is probably your favorite Pokemon game thus far. If you like battling and you like play RPGs, like real-time combat, ZA is probably your favorite, because aside from all that being included, this is Pokemon's first go at real-time battling, and it's not just as simple as super broken, overpowered stat legendaries. Like, it feels like you're playing the anime. Like common sense, you could play around with the terrain, and I'm not sure how many of you used to joke around watching Ash, but I remember one of the talks between me and my friends used to be like, "Oh, Ash, he be cheating. How does this make sense? He be breaking the rules. This could never happen." But not to the same degree as cloaking your swallow flying type with electricity and somehow Swallow's surviving. Pikachu's Thunderbolt cloaking it. But you can use the terrain, like, even online. Attacks don't automatically go through terrain. So, and that's another gimmick too. Even with the Pokemon sizing, they introduced that in what? Sword and Shield. That's where they did that to the outward overworld models. And they didn't just leave it at, oh, some Pokemon are small. That now, that makes sense now that we're in real-time battles and you can use terrain, because if you're rocking, like I imagine, I haven't found one yet, but an Alpha Tinkton probably couldn't fit behind here. You could probably still target it the same way I'm targeting here, you know? But if I'm completely behind it, well, my Pokemon's already over here. But if I was completely behind it, I wouldn't be able to target it. I would have to move around, you know? So, and that even feeds into not so much spoilers, but Marshadow's mission. Because I believe the title of the mission was like Sneaky, Stealthy Shadow or something. And it's like, Marshadow is super small and super strong. This is a mythical. And his whole gimmick is traveling between shadows. So, if I'm running around with Marshadow, you're probably like, oh, waiting on for me to get my Pokemon. While you're waiting, I'm going in. I'm here. You feel me? Yeah, I'm not getting no shinies here. Call that a day. But yeah, and it's a little attention to detail. And Pokemon has always been, like, over time, building blocks of itself. So I'm ecstatic to see where we go. This is probably definitely top 3 Pokemon games for me. I'm not sure if it's number 1 yet. Thus far, for sure top 3. Maybe 2. Maybe 2. But this is a strong contender. I mean, we could go through the night. Boom, pop that. Can I find a shiny for the night cell? Let me see. The problem with Wimpod is that he's hard to catch. I mean, let's just hit the zone. See what subs. 2020. Good over reliable. Zone 20. Oh, off the rip. I don't even know. Runerigus. Let's go. Oh, why did I? Silly me. Yeah. I'll take that. Who we got? Sableye. Gorgeist. Chikorita. What up? I got some for you. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Oh, there we go. That's funny. Oh, I'm playing. Oh, thank you. The Powdon. Not bad. So that's going to be it. Stay blessed. Have a good one.